The next tab is the opportunities tab. Basically, everything in the CRM revolves around this, right? This shows you the customer journey. I showed you this in a previous video. So, the whole point of our business is to find leads, take them through a process, and eventually make them as an investor, right? And it's extremely useful for us to track this process. So, I've just put some examples of superheroes here. Say Hawkeye is a new lead and comes as a he got an ebook from your website. Ideally, you want him to move to join his investor club, make a phone call with you, and then eventually invest with you, right? So that's what we are tracking here, and we are doing various things to make that happen. So here in one go, you can see that there are three people in the lead, two people in investment club, two people who made a phone call. There is one warm lead for potential investor, and there is one person already invested with you. And there are other things here too on the right. We have like a repeat investor and then someone who is not a good fit. And these are not manually added. We have automations on the back end where these people go through these depending on various things they do. So for example, the lead, whenever they fill a form to get a ebook, they send you a Facebook message or make an appointment, they automatically become a new lead and they come in here. And then when they join your investor club form, then they are moved from lead to investor club. And when they actually click on your calendar and make an appointment as a phone call and finish the phone call, then they move to the phone call. And after the phone call, you can designate them as, hey, there's a warm lead. That what that means is, oh, maybe they're likely, most likely invest, or they're unqualified. You have a phone call and say, hey, this is not a good fit. Then you can mark them that like that, and they will go move to that pipeline stage. And then when they invest with you, you can add a tag called investor, and they automatically move from any of these places to invested. And all these actions are associated with something on the back end as well, automations, where when they fill in the investor club form, for example, not only they move to this pipeline stage, they also get an email saying what it means. Hey, welcome to the investor club. This is what you can expect. So we set all those things on the back end. So you don't do anything there except its initial setup, and everything keeps on happening while you sleep. Someone signs up for ebook, they come on here, and then you can track all those things and you can do multiple things here. Say, hey, Hawkeye, I want to give him a call. I just can call from the system here. I just click on it and call the person. I can send a message to the person. I can add a new tags. I can add notes, and I can even add an appointment or tasks, right? I want to say, hey, I want to call Hawkeye next week. So basically saying, hey, follow up and then say, hey, make a phone call. And then you can assign it to either yourself or your VA or your partner. I'm going to assign it myself, and then you can add a due date. So I'm going to say by Friday I should make a call, and then I can create this task for myself. And where is the task going to be? It's going to be the dashboard, right? I showed you already. So it will appear here. There is a task here, follow up due in 3 days. I have to call Hawkeye. So the opportunities tab is very powerful to see the journey of your lead to the investor, and your whole aim is to transfer them from one stage to the next. And say they didn't call you through the system, you just met them in person, and so you can actually move these people in between. You don't have to rely on the automations. You can move this person to, hey, I had a phone call, or they joined the investor club, or actually they skipped all the steps and they become an investor. You can move that there too. So it's very easy to manage this. And also, when you click on someone, you can also say whether you lost, they abandoned it, or you won. So that also is detected. You can say, hey, people commonly go from phone call to investor or even investor club to investor. You can track all those things, which stage of the pipeline they were before they invested, before you won that customer. So there are a lot of powerful things you can do. By my The way I use it is I use it very simply to track what's happening to my leads to investor to phone call and what percentage are getting converted. And say I have a new deal and then I need to find a couple of investors. The first people I'm going to call is the people who are in warm lead, because I know already, hey, they're ready, they're going to invest. So I'm going to call them. Then I'm going to call the phone call people. Then I'm going to call the investor club because that's a high yield for me. And this is just one pipeline, lead to investor. You can add multiple pipelines, 100 pipelines if you want. For example, I'll give you another example of a pipeline is if you have a specific deal, a syndication deal you're having. So you can create a pipeline called a syndication deal or Jacksonville syndication deal, Jacksonville apartment deal. And then there you can imagine saying, hey, people who have expressed interest, people who have soft committed, people who actually signed the forms or went into the portal, people who actually signed the form, people who actually transferred money. So you can have multiple opportunities here and pipeline here as well. And then you can track them. And then you know, hey, these people signed the document, but they haven't transferred money. So you can track here and hey, let me call them, make sure they transfer. And you can actually also send automated messages to them. You can tag them and then send automated messages as well. So opportunities is a very powerful thing, and our whole CRM moves around this opportunity because the whole point of doing this business is currently lead to investors, and this is a way to keep track of them in one place.